crazy self-waxing chain hack? Is silver making a comeback? A handlebar mounted slingshot? Welcome back everybody to another episode of the New Hotness, your weekly update of all things alternative cycling. Still on Instagram, so you don't have to be. This episode is brought to you by Cycle Limited because New Bike Day doesn't have to cost like New Bike Day. We're back from Aid, lots of stuff to cover. Let's just hop right in. First off, let's talk events. A lot of you might not know this, but there's actually a Sea Otter in Europe. They branched out beyond Monterey, California, and it's coming up, and it's here in Girona. The dates are the 19th, 20th, and 21st. We'll be running around the show covering it. To be honest, not a whole lot of stuff within our niche, but we'll see what we can find. If anything, you should visit the Surya bikepacking booth or the Old Man Mountain booth because that's probably where we're going to be hanging out. Rumor is there might be some jamon outside or jamon afuera going on. So definitely look for Surya and Old Man Mountain at the show. Okay, first new drop is the IRD airdrop dropper seat post in silver, 27.2, 400 millimeters in length. This is a dropper project that we've been working with Mary Sales. To be honest, full credit to Jim for making this happen. I just gave like minor input and he turned it into a reality. I do have a prototype version with me here in Spain, and it's pretty cool. The finish looks really good. What's unique about it is that the diameter here is 27.2. So the idea is you could use this with an old 90s mountain bike if you want, or a gravel bike if you want to add some dropper capability. It is lever actuated, so you don't have to deal with any hidden cabling or another shift lever. It pops open just like that. There's a little bit of setback, which is different from your typical mountain bike dropper, which is usually like zero setback. So this would work better with like say gravel geometries or geometries that expect like some setback with it. I ran this on the Sour when I had that in for review and it worked pretty well. This isn't for everybody. If you're doing super technical mountain biking, probably not for you. But if you live in the West and you have like really long climbs and really long descents, then you can run this extended going up and then just drop it on the descent. Or if you share a bike in your household and people have different heights, this lets you use the same bike and quickly adjust the seat height without, mucking around with all that stuff. So again, in the store now at the Soma Fab Shop. This is a project that we started like 2 years ago and it's finally coming to fruition. So if you've been waiting or if you're interested, definitely check it out. Next thing, talking about silver seat posts, Cane Creek quietly released the EE Silk in silver. I've got this in black and carbon and it works great. Actually, one of my favorite suspension seat posts out there. And now it's in silver. Is this signs that we're going to see more components coming out in silver? I probably wouldn't hold my breath with SRAM and Shimano, but it is an opportunity for smaller component makers. Next up is an update of a product that I reviewed on the channel and really liked, and it's the Graham Touring Diamond Rando bag. So this sits on a rack. It has kind of like an arrow wedge shape. And one of the things I wished it had was side pockets, just so you didn't always have to open it up to get inside. And they have finally added it to the bag, making it pretty darn close to perfect. So you can see pictures here. You've got access on the left and the right. Great place for snacks and gloves and other quick access items. In the text, they say they make it from a durable EcoPack Ultra Stretch fabric. So if you're like me and you're a fan of the Graham Touring Rando bags, but have always wanted a side pocket with them, that moment is now. Now for the segment that I like to call the New Old Hotness, brought to you by Cycle Limited. If you don't know Cycle Limited, they sell quality used bikes and they've got some real bangers. Right now is a good time to shop on their site because they are having a Labor Day sale. So $200 off all bikes and free shipping on all orders. Pick for the week for the New Old Hotness is really hot. It is the 7 Red Sky Pro. So 7 US builder based in the East Coast, known for working with titanium, just super like beautiful and blingy stuff. So this one is really cool. If you take a closer look, it's a mix of all the expensive materials. So you've got titanium lugs that are cut out and drilled. They've got like little window cuts and it's bonded to some carbon tubes. This particular model is also rim brake. If you watched our Made video, lots of people pining for rim brakes. So here you've got it all basically, almost like a show bike that you would see in Made, but for half off. You can see here lots of nice like custom bike details. Another interesting thing about this bike is that it's rocking some S&S couplers. So definitely meant to travel, go to exotic places, and ride with style. Here's a nice little touch here on the head tube. Again, that custom lug and a window cut number 7 on the top tube. Let's talk about price. Right now it is 3,255 euros. So let's say about $3,500, which while expensive, you do get $200 off. I looked up on the 7 site recently what an equivalent bike like this would cost today. And these bikes would start around $7,000 to $8,000. But here you can get a used one if it fits you for practically half off, and that is a complete and rideable bike. If you're interested, check out the link below, and thanks to Cycle Limited for sponsoring this video. Next up is a bike that's a bit of a departure from a brand. So this is a bike called the Wild Finder, and it's a big tired monster cross gravel bike. It's got clearance for 29 by 2.4 inches in this photo here. In this photo here, you can see it's set up with suspension, front suspension, and it's from the brand Pashley of all places. Usually when I think of Pashley, I think of nice big swooping bikes that have a basket, maybe a step through, but not a bike packing gravel bike. But it appears as if they are branching out. It comes in a couple of colors. One is this reddish one that they're calling Ember, and another is this kind of middle value teal that they're calling Tempest. Both of them look pretty cool. The bikes are made out of Reynolds 853 DZB steel. It says that it uses oversized tubing, so when you've got a load, it's not all whippy and too noodly. Dropper post compatible. Again, clearance for 29 by 2.4 inch tires, and you can get it in all sorts of builds. So wireless, mechanical, and flat bar mechanical. So an interesting bike from a brand you wouldn't suspect. Next thing is this cargo bike kit called the Argo. So one way to think of the Argo is that it's sort of like an extra cycle, but for the front. It lets you convert any bike into a Bachfiets with this kind of cargo bike kit. It comes with a box, a big boom tube, and the steering linkage, and it's pretty interesting. So in this photo here, it looks like they took a Raleigh hybrid and they added the kit. If you look at near the bottom bracket, you can see this length expandable boom tube that connects to the bottom bracket on either side of the crank arms. And the fork itself slots into something, which then connects it to the steering mechanism. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's literally like the extra cycle, but for the front. The cost of the kit is about 1,000 USD, which while expensive, it's a lot less than if you're gonna buy an actual Bachfiets. On this side, this looks like a slightly different version. You can see the boom tube down here and how it connects to the bottom bracket via those brackets. So I don't think this product is like super new, but they did just mention about a day ago that they're going to have to raise their prices just a bit. So so if you're interested in converting your bike into a Bachfiets, then definitely check out Argo Cargo Bikes. Next up is a funny video that someone sent me. It's basically a really cheap DIY hack to create an auto chain waxing system. I love this. It's literally just a PVC tube zip tied to your bike, and then you stick a candle in there. I feel like this would be a great April Fool's joke for Silka if they made like a $60 scented wax candle, endurance wax, an endurance wax candle that will continuously wax your chain as you ride. Anyways, pretty hilarious. Dr. Schmachter here tagged me in this and the Cave of Bad Ideas, but I love it. Next interesting thing is from this account called Indie Vintage Enthusiasts, and this is pretty wild. So in the tags, it's tagged Bianchi, but on the down tube, it says Bruno. So I don't know if this is actually a Bianchi or not, or if it's a completely different maker, or if that's just the model name and it is a Bianchi. Anyways, check it out. It's got that less bluish green, but it's a mini velo, or to be more specific, almost a micro velo, because the wheels are 16-inch, which are pretty cool. I love these matching fenders, and it looks like maybe it's not a dynamo light, but there's a battery powered light here on the bottom of the dropout. Cantilever disc brakes. I love the placement of the shifter here on the really long down tube. Matching saddlebag, because why not? And look at this nice little elegant rear light here. Again, I don't know if that's dynamo powered or if it's a battery light, but it's cool. It's like a micro rando bike. Definitely check out his Instagram, especially if you're into Bianchis and mini velos, because that's what seems to be a trend here. You can see here a fleet of 20 inchers, various builds, and that really cool 16 incher there on the end. Speaking of mini velos, check out this post from Flink Cycles. I believe it's a German cargo bike maker, but what caught my eye here is how it attaches a plastic basket. Looks like it locks in and then like a very simple bungee through the plastic and then to some kind of nubbin. I think that's pretty elegant. I might actually experiment with the mini cargo bikes that I've got in the house right now. If I can see if I can fasten some kind of bungee mount. And speaking of bungees or elastic bands, there is this thing by the brand Oddity Cycles. And yeah, it's a slingshot. I believe the bar is titanium, probably the most expensive slingshot you'll ever buy. I'd be curious the accuracy of this said slingshot, but if putting a slingshot in your frame bag is too slow to access and you just need it at the ready, then friends, this is the handlebar for you. But Oddity Cycles living up to their name. If you want more creative handlebars, definitely check them out on the gram. Here they've got a slightly less illegal handlebar, and it's just a cup holder, but slingshot's cool too. Another interesting find is from an account called Adam Cycles. I believe it's and the person or the bike shop or the manufacturer is based in Mexico, and they've been making these really simple standoffs. They tend to be really expensive. They've got this other offering here. Yeah, so it says Cuadrista, so frame builder in Mexico, handmade by him. So kind of a little bit more DIY-ish Jack the Rack. It looks like it's set to support up to 10 kilos, which is pretty good for like a small standoff like this. If you're in Mexico or you're looking for an alternative front bag support, then definitely check out Adam Cycles. Okay, we're gonna head over to YouTube to a channel called Savev Media, which only has 3 videos, but it's an interesting series. And the whole series is about New York cycling style. Pretty simple concept. He just goes around asking different cyclists in New York about their style, both their bike and as well as the clothes they're wearing. And it ranges the gamut from a little bit more alternative cyclists to a little bit more sporty. And it's kind of cool. Not a ton of videos on the channel yet, but I think the subject is pretty interesting. I think people are always interested in why people choose different bikes or different riding attire. So it's a combination bike check and fit check. And it looks like a pretty popular format. I mean, only 3 videos and each one's over, 20,000. This one's 31. The second one's 41,000. This other one is 22,000. So pretty interesting concept. I'm curious how well the channel will do in the future. If you guys enjoy the new hotness and are focused on the alt cycling scene, then please consider supporting the channel by joining us on Patreon or YouTube memberships. That's the best way to do it. Or pick up some merch. All the links below. Thanks again to Cycle Limited for sponsoring this video. And as always, keep the supple side down.